Yes, I am definitely ready. And you're live with Sheeba.
Yes, we thank everybody for coming into the chat. Like I said, I am definitely ready, and you are live with Sheba. This week, the full moon energy has been kicking in, and it is our responsibility now to change the narrative. A lot has been going on, as you know, in the news, and I try not to keep up with it, but it's hard for me not to see it, right? So, Biden drops out of the race for presidency, and he hands the baton to Kamala Harris. I would be an idiot if I didn't take the opportunity to say, Kamala, go play on somebody else's blacktop. That's just me. That's my opinion. And everybody has an opinion, right? I want to send a special condolences to our divine sister, Sonia Massey. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. 36-year-old woman of color who was unarmed and killed in her own home after calling 911 emergency. She did what she was supposed to do because she thought that there was prowlers, around her in her community. It is sad to say, but again, she didn't make it out of that situation by the hands of the police. So I just want to say, I don't want to put too much into it. I remember this quote that Tupac said: there's going to be some stuff that's going to make it hard to smile in the future. Yeah. But through whatever, still continue to keep, putting on that smile. You got to have your sense of humor, and you got to be able to smile through the BS. Okay. Today I have brought in two beautiful divine sisters. I want to welcome Janae and Serena to the chat.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, ladies. We were talking earlier. Just so crazy happens that we are all wearing orange. So it's definitely in alignment that we are supposed to be doing this today. With everything that's going on in the world, we in alignment, we on time, we on divine timing. Today, the conversation, we're going to be talking about the process of awakening and family support and what that looks like. I always like to start off with an intention. And the intention for this conversation is it is go season. We don't have any more time to be hiding behind our gifts and our magic, worried about what somebody else who will never follow their dreams have 2 cents to say about us being in alignment with our divine purpose. I just want that to soak in for a minute. We are in a world where we are always thinking about what somebody else thinks about us. And we scare ourselves out of the opportunities because of what somebody else thinks. But if you let that go and be in the flow of your divine purpose, oh my God, the things that you unfold in your life. And I just wanted to say that because you know what, so many people miss out on great opportunities. But again, I'm so happy to have my two sisters join me today, Janae and Serena. Janae, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let the people know who you are.
Thank you, Sheeba. First of all, thank you for having us. Oh my spirit is already full, so we can log off now. Um, hello everyone. Good morning, good evening. My name is Janae, and I'll start with a simple introduction. But I think it's very fitting that the topic is spiritual awakening. That's what my life is all about.
Right.
Is the spiritual awakening, spirituality, and when I speak, I like to speak in a way that hopefully I can help someone.
Yes.
So to keep it short and simple, I'll just say I hit my rock bottom. And your rock bottom is wherever you are ready to stop digging, right? And for me, I was ready. And so that was about 13 years ago. And so there's just so many levels to my spiritual awakening and transformation. And I guess we'll get into that a little more later. And so my purpose in life is to help others transform as well, whether that be financially, body, mind, spirit. I'm a life coach, I'm a doula, I am a certified yoga teacher, meditation teacher, all of that stuff. So, we got all the modalities.
You know what? And that's what I was just saying earlier. You don't know who you are. And to hear you with so many diamonds under your belt, it brings, it just lets me know it's a thing to keep going. You don't know what's going to unfold on your path on this awakening journey. So I'm so glad to hear all the things that you bring to the community. And Serena, let the people know a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good night. I know it's different time zones we're touching right now.
Right.
um, yeah. So my name is Serena. Janae is my cousin. In
Mhm.
case those that don't know, my soul sister, but cousin. So to keep it, I guess, short also, I don't know how to pinpoint the amount of years ago it was that I had realized things had to change, but on the topic of awakening, I know that I went through, um I would say, definitely reaching rock bottom and like the pit of what would be, I think, like hopelessness and like I'm just tired of this and really trying to figure life out.
Right.
And I think in the midst of the journey and the challenges, my purpose chose me. And
Right.
so my journey, I think, allowed me to reconnect with myself. And then I took all those tools and started to form them in a way that I could give it and to those that need the same thing. So I'm a chef, I'm a womb healer, I'm a writer. So I do a few different things under those umbrellas, but in all, I think where my passion and my purpose is just to reconnect our melanated women to ourselves and our divine purpose so that we can give the medicine we need to give to others as well as ourselves.
Period.
Right. Right.
Sorry.
I had the opportunity of crossing paths with Janae here in Bali. And I think it was at the Bali Juneteenth. And I wasn't going to say anything, but Spirit was like, open your mouth. At that time, was promoting my tour to Egypt that we have going on this October 8th through the 21st. And I was like, let me stop, and say something. And so upon doing that, me and Janae just began to um, share information. And we were really, like I said, again, it was in alignment. The timing was right. And so from there, we have been talking, and she is joining us in Egypt this year. Janae, we are talking about awakening. For me, that happened in 2017. I think my father triggered me when he passed to go through an awakening. We got the Phoenix in the chat. You guys get active in the chat. Thank you for joining us in chat. We do not want to forget about our people who are taking their time out to be with us. And again, we are talking about the awakening and the process of awakening and family support while you are going through such transformation. But I was triggered to go through an awakening through my father's death. When you say hit rock bottom, there was no light for me. And so my world, I think it got to the point where, I questioned God. And I said, God, you can either take me now or you could show me my divine purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And once I said that, I think God knows when you can only take so much, when you're at your breaking point, when you ready to throw in the towel, that's when God says she's ready. Like the show, I'm ready. From me saying that, my world began to go through this transformation. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. I was reaching out to different family members saying, hey, you guys, something is happening in my world. I'm starting to hear things. I'm starting to see things. I'm starting, and they were looking at me like, yeah, she lost it. Her dad is gone. She didn't lost it. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. I heard the spirit say, keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. And every day I got up, there was a message that needed to be sent. And I sent it. And after the fourth year of sending it, I'm like, these people ain't listening. They not hearing what I'm saying. And so Spirit allowed then a couple of people to come in and say, you know what, I don't know what it is that you're talking about, but I think I'm going through the same thing. Can I get more information? That was Spirit saying, I told you, just keep speaking. Somebody is going to hear what you are saying.
That part.
So what was that process? That was the process for me. But Janae, what was that process for you?
That's, first of all, thank thank you for saying that. That was just, ooh, I got goosebumps. And I just want to thank you for listening to your intuition. That's something I'm working on. But in Bali, just coming to speak about it, because who knew that that's what my soul needed, was a trip to Egypt, right? So
Right.
thank you for stepping in your purpose. But okay, the moment for me, I want to say it was around 2013. And it's similar to what you just explained. So maybe that's a
Right.
thing. But for me, I just want to give a shout out to prayer, or I guess that's what the word, the actual word is. But it was like a cry from somewhere inside of my soul that was just like something has to give. Like,
Right.
please, somebody, something help me.
Mm.
And at this time I was a seeker, right? So I was watching Oprah Super Soul Sunday, I was reading all the law of attraction books,
Right.
I went to Sedona, Arizona, and I was like meditating. So I was starting to do the stuff, but I
Right.
was drinking all the time. I
Mm-hmm.
was over 100, like I lost about half my body weight now. So at the time I was eating like
Right.
crazy, drinking like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was just this thing where, like, I was trying to get ahead, but I couldn't quite pull it off. And
Right.
so there was just this cry from, like, please, like, I want a different life. And it was, so for me, that was my rock bottom. I mean, I won't get into too many of the details. I
Right.
can be open book. If somebody wants to contact me, I'm open with my story, but I'll just say, to keep it simple, there was just a lot of alcohol, a lot of eating, a lot of self-sabotage, the men, the this, the that, the debt, I mean, that list could go on and on.
Right.
So that cry happened, and shout out to prayer, shout out to spirituality, because from then, probably from the start of my life, but from then until now, everything is just divine alignment, right? Not perfect, but you'll meet the right person and the right book or the right course or the right healer or the right this or the right doctor, or
Right.
like everything kind of just falls into place, whatever the modality is for that moment, or the healing journey, or whatever the recovery, whatever it is. That has been my story since 2013, 2014. So, but anyway, the same thing that you just talked about, it's just that moment of, like, I I give
Yeah.
up. I surrender. I'm I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm ready for something new. So that's kind of what it looked like for me.
Yeah. Um, mm, that word that you just said, I surrender. Like, there's no more fight in me. God, and I get emotional. I'm sorry. I used to not be so vulnerable, but on this journey, I found myself, like,
Don't be
just whimpering
sorry.
over
It's
every
fine.
little,
It's fine.
No
but that
apologies.
point of surrender, when you surrender to the path, when you surrender to the calling, because it will fight you. Your old self will try to hold on to you, and you're just like, look, I know I'm supposed to go. And like you said, the drinking and the partying and the friends and all of this, I was so attached to that part of me that
Mm-hmm.
several times, sometimes in church, they'll call it like backsliding. I gotta go see about them, and Spirit was like, no, we're going somewhere else. And just the shedding of friends, just the shedding of family. It's like, man, you're taking everything away from me and you putting me by myself, so just going through that whole process. Serena, I want to hear a little bit about your transformation as well.
For sure, for sure. So first and foremost, also thank you. I'm so big on, like, us really moving and following our intuition. And I think that this meeting is just proof of why it's essential. Without you
Mhm.
following your intuition and Janae following hers and me following, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to do the things we're doing. So every step is a part of the journey. So thank you for following your intuition and talking to her in Bali, and then, and then just getting us
All
here,
right.
right? So I'm happy to be here. So mine kind of, I think I went through levels of, like, awakening, but my biggest, like, not even slap in the face, but punch in the face was, I kind of got to a similar place of, like, yo, you know what? I'm actually done here. Like, I'm done on earth.
Mhm.
I'm done So yeah, so I had got to this point where I was just like so done with like life. I remember, I'll never forget, it was in 2019. I was in a relationship at the time, but it was a relationship that I needed to get out of.
Right.
And I was literally Googling places that could check me into a psych ward. Like I was so done with like I was like daydreaming about leaving this physical earth. Like
Right.
I couldn't do it anymore. And then there was a part of me that was like, part of me was like, there's something else here, because I don't know if this is completely just me feeling this way,
Mhm.
or if, you know, what is this? And then another part of me was like, there has to be something more than this. Like I know life can't just be
Right.
this. And so
Mhm.
amongst that, I learned a few things. One, I learned that I was an empath and that I am able to pick up people's energy and also heal people's you know, the way they feel and things. And then two, I learned that when you do actually cry out for help and also want the help, you get it. Because we
Right.
can
Period.
cry out for it, we can cry out for it, and we can ask for it, and we can say that we want it, but if you don't genuinely want it, it won't come when you know when you're asking for it. So so I just was kind of, I got out of the relationship and I just was like, whatever I can do, like something. And maybe not even a full year, maybe 6-7 months or later, I found a holistic coach that I thought was just about to be about eating healthy, because I
Mhm.
also too was eating, drinking, popping pills, smoking,
Right.
all kind. What if there
Right.
was a thing to do?
Mhm.
I was doing it. And so maybe 6 or 7 months later, I got a holistic coach, a friend of mine I was just supporting, I thought at the time. And it actually turned out to be changing my entire life. From what I started to put in my body
Right.
changed. And then whew, this clip, it was something in the midst of that detox process in 2020 that literally clicked the switch that shifted my entire trajectory of life.
Mhm.
And like in the midst of the chaos of the world and all this stuff, it was like the best year of my life. And moving forward since then, like Janae said, everything has moved in alignment, and my spiritual consciousness just keeps expanding, and I'm hearing things, and I'm getting these divine
Right.
downloads. The more that I clear the vessel that I
Mhm.
am, the more
Mhm.
that I have space to hear what spirit's
Period.
been trying to tell me from the whole time. I just didn't have
Right.
space for it. So that's like a short version of kind of where that started.
Whew.
It is so, you know what, when you're talking about empath, I definitely can feel the energy in the room. It's getting hot in here. I'm ready is basically something that came through me through spirit that's saying be the vessel to be able to send the message. And so that's how this podcast was created, in order for people to get online in the chat, and maybe something in the message you will be able to resonate, and you will be able to use your voice to speak about the things that you couldn't speak, that you were keeping to yourself. And so now that you have some people who you found who are on the same path, you don't have to worry about living in that fear. Somebody's going to think I'm going crazy. Somebody's not going to understand. I understand. I get it. Janae understands. Serena understands. And so that's why I'm ready. It's being cultivated before our eyes, is to be able to help those in need who need a voice to be able to say what they need to say. So you guys get in the chat, you guys can comment, put your messages in, and we will answer them as we go. There's a point, like you said, that you get to. I know I had several incidents where my life was on the line before I went through my transformation. So there were times that I would end up in the hospital with my stomach cut open. There were
Mm,
times that I was unconscious. There were so many times up into that
mm.
transformational point that spirit was like, do you get it now? Do you
Mm,
get it now? And I'm like,
mm,
no, I don't. I didn't get it. But I think, like you said, it takes that gut punch that you can't escape from, for you to realize, like, I think that something else is going on here. And Serena, you were saying, if you have never questioned, like, what is the big picture of being here?
yeah.
Like, what are we really doing
Like, what
here?
am
When
I
you get
doing?
to that, yeah, when you get to that point where you're starting to ask that question, like, there's got to be something more to this thing than just us going to work, raising kids, being in these karmic relationships, not having a way out. There's got to be something more to this story. Janae, for you, as you are going through your transformation process, your family members are seeing you. What are they saying? What are you hearing about yourself?
Whew. That's hard. That's hard to answer. But I'm but look, we being real tonight. Um, I I think I think it's uncomfortable. I
Mm,
think it's uncomfortable to see someone drastically change. And I'm not sure why. I think people are really they're happy for you, but also it's like you're not their eating buddy anymore. You're not their gossip buddy anymore. You're not their drinking buddy
mhm,
anymore. You know, friends and family. So it's uncomfortable. Like people really don't know how to move around me or
right,
what's going on with you or so if there was a little bit of just this uncomfortable phase,
mhm,
and then the word that's coming up for me to share, if anyone is like in that space where you're changing but it's just so uncomfortable with the people around you,
yeah,
um is courage.
mhm,
Because I just courage and trust. Like I just was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go. Like no one in my family is doing this, but I'm just gonna go in the path, and I'm just gonna right.
yeah,
And I'm just gonna do it right, and then to trust that people will come around, and that has happened. But it was very uncomfortable. I felt different. I felt odd. All of that stuff.
right.
But you just keep pushing.
Yes, I'm definitely ready. Let's get it.
That trap says, yes, some family members or friends just won't get it.
Yes, sir.
They won't get it. I heard that, like I said, she lost it. Like, I don't know, she over there doing witchcraft. She over there, I heard so much stuff about myself, and I literally, I found myself, kind of going in on my family. Like, have you ever picked up the phone and just said, hey, what's going on with you? You not moving the same. Is something going on? Can we be a support? Something traumatic happens to somebody, what happens to the covering from the family for that person, the advocate that says, you know what, maybe she's going through something, and you know what, we need to figure it out as a family. But I didn't get that, and to hear these things coming from, I began to laugh. I started to laugh it out, and I think I just started to get even more radical about my message, because I'm like, yeah, okay, you said I'm crazy. Well, let me say this. I just started to play into the craziness and be like, I'm going to accept this. This is my life. This is what's happening to me. And because I love my family and my friends so much, the message that I am getting, I gotta send it, no matter what they say about me. So, like you said, having that trust that everything is going to turn out. And after 4 years of not knowing what was going on, God says, see, I told you, just keep speaking. They gonna keep coming. They gonna see you. They gonna wonder, how's she moving here? And how's she doing that? Manifesting it, speaking it to existence, using the tools that the Spirit is talking to me, giving me to be able to develop these things into my life. So,
Mm.
Serena, you and Janae are cousins, like you said in the
Yes.
beginning. And that just took me back to when I first started going through my transformation, because I had a cousin who, she was going through the awakening before I was. So when she seen that I was kind of started speaking, she kind of knew right there, here come the light, here come the light. And so she kept reaching out to me. And I was just like, girl, leave me alone. I don't know what you're talking about, because I'm thinking she crazy, and I'm going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But in all reality, she was waiting on me. And so I am a woman of integrity and of truth and honesty. And I just want to say to her, if she even sees this, that thank you for even being on that journey and being the guide that I needed, because it got dark for both of us. You seeing your cousin going through this, Serena, um, woo, you seeing your cousin going through this, and you're seeing the change in her. How does that start making you feel?
Ooh. Um. Hmm. All right. I'm gonna try not to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So, man. Well.
She
So
had my back. You had my back.
Mm-hmm.
I. So first off, we have always been like, I've always been like I'm the little cousin, so I've always been like, oh, I want to go where she's going. I've always been obsessed with Janae. I call her name, but I've always been obsessed with her. I've always wanted to be around her, and so she's always been a light for me. She's always been a safe place for me, and so but as a kid growing up, I mean, I knew there was different things she was going through, but obviously, you know, I didn't know the magnitude. But as I got older, and I started to see her shift, I could see like, oh, okay, I could see. But we lived together at a point, and I think that probably was the biggest, like, I don't know, revelation or whatever moment, that I was just so freaking proud of her, because I got to see in real time what it meant to take the steps to quite literally transform your life. And although I was not on that same type of time at the time, she never closed the door on me. She never was like, oh, she don't get it, she eating her food or she doing her whatever. And she was always real with me, like, oh, this shit is hard, like whatever. And I just became like, I don't know what happened, because she's the older cousin, I'm the young cousin, but when I saw what she was doing and the process, I was like, yo, excuse my language, fuck all that. Nobody's touching her. No, like, I was just like, I am putting whatever boundary, whatever shield I have to put around this woman, I'm gonna put it here, because I know how this is changing her life. I didn't know that I was going to be coming along at some point, but I knew it was changing her life, and my love for her, and to see her transform and change her life in such a magnitude. It wasn't like no little itty bitty, like, not only did she lose half her body weight and all these things, like, she literally is not the same person, like, in no form of the fashion. And then she did that, like, with a smile on her face, right? And I'm sure behind doors is tears and all kind of stuff, right? You're growing, but she just, watching her gave me a level of, whatever word is bigger than hope, whatever word is bigger than inspiration, she gave me that, and I didn't even know. Slowly but surely, it was seeds being planted just by simply being in her garden, just by simply being in her presence. I began to unlock and shift and unlock and shift. And then I was just like, kind of like, okay, well, my lens started to change. So I started to see things different. She didn't even it was never like a sit down. She was like, you got to change your life, Rena. Like, you wilding. You know, it was never that. It was never that. She just was like, you know, she supported me in my wild up times. And when I was down, she was right there. And she literally just she walked through the door, and then it was almost like she came back, but the way she is, she's not an enabler. So she didn't come back through the door to hold my hand. She was just right through the doorway where I could still see her. I could still see there's somebody out there that is not too far from where I am. And so I just kept going, and I kept kind of leaning on her for support, and slowly but surely we begin to unlock this beautiful next level to our relationship of, like, breaking through these spiritual barriers and really being in the same family. We are co-creating and collectively literally breaking generational trauma from our DNA regularly. Like, like on a daily, we have conversations about how to heal through parent things and money things and food things. Like, literally, without her, I'm not sure that I would be on the same path at this time. I'm not sure that I would be able to be who the version of that I am talking to you right now without her example and her guidance, for real.
What
And
y'all want me to do with that?
Look, I'm trying to hold back tears.
I'm being honest. I'm being completely honest. We being honest. And I'm gonna add this, and then I'm gonna drop it. As Black women, as a melanated woman that has gone through a lot of things, I've been through a lot of things. I've lost children. I've had a very dysfunctional up and down relationship with my mother, my father, my parents. Janae has quite literally, whether known or beknownst or unknown, whatever, become the parent that I always needed. And so as we navigate through this world, this journey, man, I am grateful day in and day out for this woman, and she makes it in my prayers, she makes it in my books, she makes it in my thoughts, she makes it even if we don't talk, which is very rare. Like we might go a day or two if work gets busy,
Right.
but
Right.
at every moment, at every point, and every timeline that I can consciously think of her, she is there, because she's literally like nursing me into a version that I didn't know that I could be, just by simply being and doing what she's doing. So intuition is important to follow. So I'm gonna drop it. I'm done.
I told you this is a very powerful conversation, guys. Because you and as the one, yeah, I'm over here like as the one that is being chosen to go through this awakening, we experience a lot that we do not share. And it is like a whole, like, a breaking down, a releasing of anything that you ever, like, you are not your old self. It just feels like everything in you dies. And then and you start having to face your traumas, things that you thought that weren't even there start to come up on this journey. And you have to go through, when they say there's levels to this shit, there is levels to this awakening shit. This is not easy. And so to be able to be of love, like she said, and trying to walk on this path and understand that this is not a judgmental place. We've all been here. But Janae, for you to stand up and say, you know what, I'm running. Give me the baton. I'm ready. What you did, like you said, she may not have got it, but because she was around you, you were able to trigger something in her to make her see. And that's what it's all about, is getting that vibration so high around you that anybody that is in your presence, that is around you, it's going to trickle off and it's going to hit them as well. And that's what the journey is all about, is raising this vibration in this moment, in this time, oh my God. So that we all awaken and we all have this beautiful experience. I've walked that path and I'm walking that path. And I love the way she speaks about you, because like I said, me and my cousin, we were going through it, and we were on the phone every night. We were the only two, like, hey girl, I'm experiencing this, I'm going through this, and just taking notes and bouncing off of each other. And, we're all we had. And so to see you guys going through that, it takes me back to the beginning of my journey. And I'm just so happy to be, even when I heard that, you guys were on the path together and you guys were doing like-minded things, like we were. I wanted to have this conversation. I wanted people to hear your story. I'm grateful to be able to sit down and have this conversation with you today. Thank you, everybody that is in the chat. Janae, after hearing your cousin speak about you like that, how do you feel? How does that make you feel?
I'm not sure there's words. All the feels going through my body. But yeah, there's a couple of things I want to say. And Sheeba, you might need to hear this if your cousin's listening, or if anybody's kind of struggling with relationships. I'm gonna tell y'all about Serena. And this is, I don't know if I ever said this to you. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I think in relationships, it's easy for us to see what's wrong with people, or to see what they did wrong. And I think that's normal. I'm upset with this person because here's what they did, and so people get upset with me for things. And one day I just called Rena and I said, like, why you don't ever get upset with me? I'm just like, I don't really get it. Like, you don't really, like, I do this thing, or I'm not perfect. And she doesn't really, we have moments where we talk things out, but she doesn't get mad at me. And first of all, it's the light in her, right? It's the light, but she has this beautiful perspective. And so if anybody that I just want to just give you your flowers for that. That's the first, y'all can hear it through her talking, like her perspective. I'm like, how? So it helps me to see myself. Like, how do you see? What are you seeing, right? And so when she's
Mhm.
seeing the stuff, it's like you start to see yourself, right?
Right.
Um, so that's the first thing I want to say. Like, Serena helps me to have compassion and grace and perspective because I'm easy to be like, oh, this person's frustrating me. This thing is wrong.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Serena's just not like that. So it's like she feels things for me, but it's like it's equal. It's equal, right? I learned so much compassion and grace and nurturing from Serena. And then the second thing, I'm not taking the
Right.
credit. I am not. Serena does the
Right.
work. Okay.
Right. Right.
Serena does the work. So those are the two things. If anybody's listening and trying to dissect kind of okay, what are these women doing to transform and heal and all of this stuff? Um, Serena is a safe space to be honest with,
Mhm.
because it's not easy to be honest with people because of defensiveness or they don't want to hear it. So Serena is a safe space for me to say, hey, and to practice my intuition, to say,
Right.
hey, here's what I'm thinking. Serena, here's what I'm feeling. And Serena never, like, she's always like, okay, well, let me think, let me write about it, let me pray, let me think, what do you think? Like, no, I'm open. Like, sometimes I'm scared, like, Serena, I'm seeing this thing, or,
Mhm.
I feel like, you're saying this thing, but you're not behaving that way. Like, I kind of confront her with stuff, big cousin vibes.
Yeah, she
And
Mhm.
she's
does.
and she's always like, all right, let me look at that. Like
Mhm.
and so
Right.
it's perspective.
Mhm.
It's being a light within yourself. Serena is very open minded.
Right.
Um, and like I don't know, like I feel like I received the flowers, right? Like I'm like, okay, you're giving me flowers, I received the flowers. But I also feel like you deserve your flowers too,
Mhm.
because like the journey can be lonely,
Yes.
right? The journey could be lonely.
Mhm.
And like I can't imagine, like I don't want to, we always say this,
Yeah,
like
we
I
do.
don't know what it's like, and I
I don't
don't
want
want to know,
to
right?
know.
So,
Right.
and I'm gonna say this one last thing, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Sheba. But I don't want to paint a picture. And Rena, you mind if I get real?
Let's do it.
Because that's what we do,
We
right?
do.
I know.
Go for it.
Um, I don't want to paint a picture like everything is perfect,
Right.
nothing is wrong,
Should be
Right.
right?
Right.
wrong.
Like, yeah, we worked for this. We had our moment. We
Mhm.
had our moment. We didn't talk for what? I don't know. What was it?
Some time. It was some time. Uh,
My consciousness. I can't put was it a year or
it
so?
might have been a year or so. It might have been a
Mm.
year or so.
So yeah, so kind of before the journeys, we had our moment. We didn't speak. It was always still love there, but it was heartbreaking.
Mhm.
Right.
Um, and we sat down and we got through it. So,
Mhm.
so real love never dies,
Right.
and we gave each other that space, but then
Mhm.
we came back. And I think that's why sometimes I have fear to like, oh, I don't want to mess things up again. But
Mhm.
she has like eliminated all of that fear. She's like, no, I'm not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere, and we'll sit down and we'll work it out.
Right.
Mhm.
So
But
thank you. I love
sometimes
you.
it calls
Love you.
for that. That is a part of the lesson, to have grace, to have understanding, to learn how to communicate, to say, you know what, I needed my space. Sometimes spirit wants you to go on your journey by yourself without having to lean on Serena. Could you do it on your own? Could you stand, And so at that moment, it may feel like, it's crazy because it's like things happen on this journey to trigger us, to go our separate
Yeah.
ways. But then in our heart, at the end of the day, we know that that's my girl. Regardless of what we're going through at this moment, that's why it's so easy for you to be like, no, I mean, we got to talk about this. We got to communicate because I'm on this journey and I really need you. And to have somebody who understands you going through this awakening is the most valuable thing that you can have on this journey, because in a place where we're all being manipulated, somebody to say, I understand what you're going through, is so much value, and holds so much weight in this moment. So I just I just give thanks, just to be in the room with both of you, while we are sharing process of awakening and family support. To hear you guys support each other like that is just incredible. And yeah.
Can I say
Man,
something real quick?
yeah, you
So,
can.
because it just popped in my spirit. And so when we talk about the process of awakening,
Uh-oh.
what popped in my spirit just now was so you know how people a lot of times on this spiritual journey we talk about like and people talk about in different phases or forms. Sometimes they're like, oh, they did plant medicine or whatever the case. They do different things and they say they go through this ego death, right?
Right.
And they go through this ego death and they come out and they're like, okay, I'm on this journey. I've been blah, 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 right? Which I think is important. I just wanted to pinpoint that sometimes on this journey, especially when you talk about spirituality, sometimes I think the reason why it is a bit of a challenge to get this level of relationship with people, it could be family, friends, intimate partners, marriage, whatever,
Right.
is sometimes it's hard to get to this level that Janae and I have because people forget that an ego death has to take place in
Yes.
the union also, because just because you had an ego death as an individual person does not mean that your ego will not recreate and form again in interpersonal relationships. And so in this process of awakening for us individual, we've had our own, what we had to do, but as a union, as a collective, as a relationship between us both, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Nene, but I think as a collective, Nene and I show up to our relationship and our space completely stripped of all ego. There is nothing and no barrier between her and I when we speak, whether it's something like, oh, girl, good job, like, oh, promotion, or if it's like, yo, on a real though, that was kind of crazy. What you said wasn't matching what you did, and you were out of line. So let's kind of figure out how to get back on track. You know what I mean? Like, so no matter the
That was your impersonation of me?
a little bit. She be getting me together, y'all. She be getting me together. She be getting me together. But the thing about it is I always receive it. I always receive it because there is literally no ego here in this relationship, because I know when she asked me about like, oh, you never get mad at me and this and that, I'm like, well, in order for me to get mad, I would have to take things personal. And when it comes to our relationship, if she's telling me something, whether it's a counsel or whatever, I'm not taking it personal. But also, I believe and know in my entire being, from every cell in my body, that this woman has no harm for me.
Right.
She does not, she has no ill intent. Right. Even if she might stumble over the words, or even if it might come out of little Bronx, New York, even if it comes out of, frustration of like, girl, I've been trying to tell you, no matter how it comes out, I know that she means no harm. But I think unanimously have this interchange because we have allowed the ego death to take place together in the relationship. And so for anybody watching, whether it's a marriage, a partnership, friendship, whether it's like this, cousins, whatever it is, sometimes we have to lay down the ego in order to see through why the relationship is either not on track or whatever the case. Sometimes you just meant to, love each other, move on. That's fine. But in a space where there is supposed to be unity and you're trying to figure out why we're not attached or why is this so wrong? We whatever, we can't get on the same page. It might be, you got to look and sit down and let go and let that ego die in the relationship, not just by yourself. So
I love that. I love that. Sheeba, can I ask you a question? Is that part of the rule? Can I?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready.
I'm like, I can't, like, sometimes questions just pop in my mind, and I'm like, oh, I want to talk about that because as Serena's sitting here talking, I'm just like, the spiritual awakening, the bond we have as cousins that, have this journey, all of that stuff. I'm like, wow, this is actually a miracle. Like, it's miracles, right? Like, and a big part of the spiritual awakening journey is miracles, right? And so I'm just sitting here out of my curiosity. I just want to know, Sheeba, like, so from the spiritual awakening path so far that you've been on since 2017, what have been some of those divine miracles that you've been experiencing as well? And the reason I'm asking this question is because I know success leaves clues. So it's like whatever you're doing to get those miracles, I want to hear what those things are. And I don't know, I just see so much in you. So yeah, I'm just curious about your miracle life.
I love that
Ooh,
question.
Lord.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Well, then you
God.
can answer next.
You know what? I've always I've always known I was a little different, from the start of my childhood, just being in the music industry early and about starting at 10 years old. I was always pushed out in the front. And so when this happened, when my father passed, and it triggered me to go through my awakening, like I said, I started, in the front. And I know that spirit was pushing me no matter how I felt or how I wanted to hide or how, I really, to tell you the truth, I'm a person that likes to be in the background. I don't like to be up front, but spirit keeps pushing me and saying, you know what? Go is, and I'm just like, but wait, so I do a lot of it here. And, um, oh man, I do a lot of it scared, but I know that is my purpose. I know that I'm called here to do it. And so even if it doesn't make sense, even if I don't have it all together, I still speak it because I know that my purpose is so much greater here. So when I talk about how spirit is telling me to say stuff and I'm saying it and I'm like doing it and I'm doing it in why I'm scared, because I've surrendered and because I've listened, the things that I want are starting to manifest into my existence. So because I'm obedient to what spirit is telling me to do, because I'm obedient to what spirit is telling me to do, these things that I want are manifesting into my life. And it doesn't take $1 million to do that. It only takes me surrendering and saying, God, wherever you want me to be, wherever you want me to go, use me. My only thing that I ask spirit is that when I go, you take care of my family. You take care, because what I do, like, again, it's not for myself. It's for this moment right here. I already knew what I was coming here to do. So when you say what miracles, this is a miracle. Being in Bali is a miracle. Traveling the world is a miracle. Being able to speak, and say, you know what? Hey guys, I'm afraid, but it's my purpose to do this. And so, like I said, surrendering for me is the most valuable thing on this journey, even when it's scary, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you don't know how it's going to happen. If spirit brings you to it, he's going to bring you through it. When I say he, I mean the divine. So that's just been my life for the last 7 years. I don't know how this bill was going to get paid, but God, you told me to go out here and say this, and every time I say it, I wake up and a check is in the mail. You just have to have that type of faith. Oh, you want me to go to Egypt and you want me to take a group to Egypt? Well, here, use me as a vessel. And I'm saying, hey guys, we got to go back to Egypt. We got something to get. We got something to do. And people are just like, let's go, let's go, let's go. So because I surrender and because I just believe beyond what, I'm saying, what's given, I just keep manifesting and being in that receiving part of the journey now. So that's the magic. That
Wow. Wow. Whew.
That was some heat.
mm.
Whew. All right, Rena, you go. I'm sorry, Sheeba. I don't mean to take over me and
No,
my
no,
curiosity, my questions.
no.
I just love to hear about the miracles. And I guess to sum up, Sheeba, what you said, it's obedience, right? Like you're being divinely guided, and you have the courage.
Right.
There's a theme going on, a
Mhm.
surrender. Like I like to bookmark, bullet point, right?
Right.
There's the
Right.
surrender, there's the courage, the
Mhm.
trust, the faith, the obedience, the
Right.
miracles,
Yeah.
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Right? So we're on the miracle side of our
Mhm.
conversation now, but like Rena, like your miracles.
Whew, first of all, Sheba, man, that was definitely some heat. Thank you for sharing that. And as you were talking, my entire, like, all the hairs on my body were like standing up, because it's like clear, very clear,
Right.
crystal clear,
Right.
why and how we are all here right now. First of all, randomly wearing the same color, because I think spirit likes to give us all winks in different ways.
Right. Right.
Spirit likes to give us winks in different ways to allow us to realize, like, hey guys, y'all are here because I want you to collectively know you're shifting your frequency,
Right.
and there are people to meet you there. There's work to do on every frequency, and your work and your labor and all of the things you've been through are not, forgotten. They're not for no reason. It was to get us here and
Right.
there and there and there. So yeah, that I just had to share that. But so some miracles, man, so many, there's been so many, but I think just first and foremost, being here and alive is a complete miracle for me. There are many times where I've been through, like, I quite literally calculated how and where to end this life. And I think having a mindset that no longer even travels on that thought process, that no longer even has those moments yet and still can relate to someone on that path, is a miracle.
Right.
It is a miracle that I've learned how to transcend my gift, to use it to help guide people without falling in the depths of their well. Right. So that in itself is a miracle, as I work with different people, being alive here, healing my womb, a complete absolute miracle. Right. I've been pregnant 6 times, lost 7 children, 1 set of twins, and my body has been through an immense amount of trauma.
Right.
And so healing that, getting healthy, losing weight, literally redoing my womb, a complete miracle. Allowing myself to no longer follow someone else's GPS, but tap into what source is telling me in mine. Complete miracle. And this surrender, has been a theme for sure. Definitely Nene knows, like, surrender has been like this big stamp on my forehead. And so having the space, capability, and accountability to literally surrender every part of my life, and in all aspects, I'm like, I don't know what's next, but tell me. And I'm hearing it, and then I'm doing it.
Right.
A complete miracle, because everything is working out. I lack in no area. Everything I need, I have.
Right.
Everything I have.
You have.
Everything, and in all levels, at all levels, I am able to serve others because I have an abundance of whatever I need. I'm able to spread light because I have an abundance of this inner joy, this inner peace. And I think one of the biggest miracles for myself that I can really, like, overall with everything, is I have a complete, grounded, solid inner peace that I never, ever, ever imagined that I could have. When the Bible talks about the peace that surpasses all thought, right? I hear that. I studied. I was in religion, all this stuff. Yeah, but to feel
it
and to live a life of bliss, where literally there is no disruption in my inner being, complete miracle.
Wow.
And I think that it allows me to serve and really show up for myself, which is allowing me now to serve in my purpose, because I'm out of the pain. Now I'm in the purpose.
Now you're in the purpose.
Now I'm in a purpose.
And
yeah.
The higher you keep going on that level, you want to get even. You want to see what else I can do.
What else? Exactly.
What else
exactly.
Yes, it gets so magical that, like you said, you're transforming into this person that you just didn't even know that you could be. You're doing things that you never thought that you could do. And so that just keeps, I don't know, lights went out. But anyways, that just keeps you going and wanting to see more and wanting to do more and wanting to heal more. So I just I really resonate with that. And so, like, on the lights is going on.
That's it. Spirit definitely communicates in a funny way. And I think we all have a sense of humor So I think that we see signs and things like that because this shit is fun. We're like, y'all want to be funny? I'm gonna be funny too.
I
Remember
didn't
that
think
time?
I honor my ancestors in this moment because y'all acting up in here.
No, there was this one time I had like a little birthday picnic outside. What was it? I forget what year. This was 2020, like the pandemic. It was
Yeah.
like a birthday little get together, luxury picnic outside, and we would talk. We were like manifesting and talking about our goals and setting intentions. And it
Uh-huh.
was like anytime someone would finish, like saying something powerful or really setting that bold goal,
Mm-hmm.
the wind.
Out of
I mean, you
control.
like
Like
the wind, like the you. It
tornado
was like
winds.
it was like it was like and then it would just settle back down. Like we was just like, what
It
is happening?
was like
So anyway,
AOS.
they be those
It
little,
was.
yeah,
It did it for every single person.
it's those little wings. Like I'm here, I'm here.
Yeah.
You guys don't even know, like, for me to get up and first of all, I never wanted to be in the front. That that's just not. So for me to get up and do it and say, okay, Spirit, I don't know who we're going to interview this week. I don't know what, and like I said, I just keep, okay, God, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. I don't know what's going to come out of it. All I know is that I'm supposed to send a message. And so I'm going to show up again, surrendering, listening, and to be on today, like I said, and just have this conversation. Spirit is so, I can feel it in my body that the energy is so high right now. And as you can see, the lights keep going on and off. They weren't doing it. That is just spirit saying, you know what, you are definitely in alignment. This conversation is much needed, and to keep going. And
Hmm.
I'm just so happy, Janae, that we crossed paths.
Likewise.
And in the next couple of months, we will be returning to Egypt, October 8th through the 21st. And the room is open. The doors are open for you to go back and have that experience. Like I said, I manifested Egypt. I don't know if I mentally thought that I would be in this place, but I manifested Egypt in 2020. And to have you guys returning back with me, because this year it was not a part of my plan. My plan was to bring a retreat here to Bali. Everybody wants to come to Bali, and but Spirit was like, no, I need you to heal and I need you to prepare for Egypt. And I asked Spirit, I said, if we gonna go back to Egypt, then I want everybody who needs this is, yeah, we gonna do a little turn up, but this is for who needs it to come home to reconnect, because it is a lot. It's not easy, promoting and marketing and all of that stuff. But I said, Spirit, use me so that I can send the message. Whatever it is that you need me to do, I will go. I will go. And that's what I continue to say, and like you said, that's how I'm able to manifest the things into my life and these experiences, because I surrender. It doesn't matter how much it costs. If I'm supposed to be there, I am going to be there, and that's how I wanted to think. So I wanted to share that for anybody who was in the chat who want to have the experience. Come on, we got room for you. And I'm so glad, like, I didn't have to like pressure Janae and say, hey, 20 million times. She was like, I know I'm supposed to go. It's on my vision board. It's where I'm supposed to be. And so I want to encourage everybody, do your vision board. Map out what life looks like for you. It may not go that way, but spirit, and make sure some kind of way something is going to align on that vision board.
Mhm.
And but I'm so happy to have you two here. And we, again, for those who are in the chat, this was an open chat. This is every Thursday we do this, have this conversation. And today the conversation was about the process of awakening and the family support. And as you can see, Janae and Serena, there are cousins, and the support and encouragement that they give each other on this journey is such an amazing thing to hear. I'm so proud of them both. I've gone on you guys' page and looked at that transformation. Janae, I was like, wait a minute, like she didn't drop the whole body
A
size.
whole
Like,
body. A whole body.
she
And let me
is
tell you the
doing.
mind work. When I go back and look at pictures, like she'll show me pictures or we'll see pictures, and I'll be like, yo, not for nothing, not even trying to be funny, I don't remember her that way.
Right.
And sometimes when I say that, even in this moment when I said it, it's Spirit said it's because her and I have always seen the truth of who we are. We've
Right.
Wow.
always seen who we truly are. So there's things that like I'm like, I do what me, and then they'd be like, no, like, and I'm like, and then saying like Spirit, thank you, Spirit. Spirit literally just said that, and I think because we've always seen one another, how we truly are, it makes this process go a little bit more
better.
smooth.
Even
It makes it go a little
with you, even with you, Serena, I'm looking at you, womb healing specialist. You know, we need that. We need that. Like you said, so many people, there's so much trauma because, like you said, we have two brains. We have one brain inside of our head, and then the other brain is in our stomach.
which
And
is our
just
first one. That's our first
right.
brain.
And just realizing the trauma, like the amount of trauma, like you said,
A lot.
that build up, you know, in women, you know, are usually our problem area is in our womb because we hold so much there. We carry children, you know, things that we've been through. What is that process? What is that womb healing process? What does that look like for you when you are teaching and
Man,
you are assisting?
yeah, so it's a lot. I have different options and different modalities that I can kind of that I offer and that I utilize with people depending on what they need. But the first and foremost, the first process to any type of healing, I think, is acknowledging that there's something off, right? Like it's acknowledging like there's something off. So a lot of things that I offer or share is like quick guidelines. You can go on my page or anywhere and see like, oh, am I experiencing these things? Then that means it's something off, right? So now you know there's somewhere you seek help, whether it's through me or whoever. Just the goal is to really like tap back in. And I think that one of the biggest things that I do, I quite literally have created, and it might sound crazy to other people, but I have created an actual intentional relationship with my womb. Like the way that we interact, the way that we can talk, the way that Nene and I, you and I, we can be on the phone. Girl, what you talking about? Like, let me listen. I literally have created this bond with my womb to the point where I had to hear what she was talking about. I had to hear the things that I thought I pushed away, pushed aside, the eating, the dudes, the this, the that. I thought that that stuff just disappeared, but our bodies were made to hold a lot of things. And as women, we birth things, right? And so sometimes what we forget as melanated women is that without healing our womb and reconnecting and tapping back in, it's not that we're not birthing things, but we are not producing things that are enhancing ourselves or anything around us because of the weeds and the things that's stuck inside of us, right? So I think sitting with yourself and really learning how to guiding people into how to pull that stuff up, because it's not easy, right? Like there's levels to this shit. And so I don't suggest that people just like dive in with no knowledge of what could be in there. But I do think, being able to be comfortable with feeling your emotions, you know what I mean? Like feeling your emotions, really being able to sit down, meditating, whatever that looks like for people, and really taking things one step at a time. And so I've created a course to kind of guide people through the process very gently, but very like affirmatively too. Like it's gentle, like I'm gonna hold your hand, but we're not gonna be on no bullshit either. It's like a balance, right? It's like a balance. And so the course kind of leads you through one thing at a time, and it's levels. It's a 6-week course, and it's levels to how to peel back those layers that we put on us for our entire life. And it's a daily thing that you do, assignments. There's different activities. There's, guidance from me through videos and all kinds of things that I kind of lead you through this 6-week process of, oh, hey, this is how we kind of regenerate it. And sometimes it could just completely, okay, I'm back on track 6 weeks, or maybe something that you have to do more than once, depending on, the level of what's in there.
Right. And Janae, I see you doing yoga. You say you do several things. What is that process for you? Anybody that is doing some work with you, what does that look like for them?
Yeah. Oh, whew, my spirit is full, so I know we at time. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
just say that, and Serena always like, oh, I'm gonna flip this table over if you say this again. But I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
Right.
No, flip it over because this is real.
What you about
A
to
lot of
say?
times I don't. A lot of times I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Right.
like. Oh, Janae, what do you do? Like, I have a job right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my plan is like, what's the divine plan, right?
Right.
And I'm so inspired by you, Sheeba, because it's like, spirit, how do you want to use me?
Right.
And then I show up like that in this moment. So that's kind of why I'm always so confused about which way to go. It's just like however I can be used.
Mm-hmm.
Something Serena just said with the relationship with the womb. In this moment, I had like a aha moment, and I'm just like, everything is relationships.
Everything.
So
Mm-hmm.
I help people with their spirituality. I'm a spiritual life coach. So my relationship with God, with a higher power, healed my life,
Right.
right? My relationship with my money transformed my money story, right? I'm every week I'm here writing down what's in the account, what's the goal, what's going on, how much I spend, how much am I spending the way I value. It's a
Right.
relationship, right? And Rena, you gotta write
I
down. You know
know.
you
I
gotta write
know.
it
I
down.
got an assignment
Okay.
to do, y'all. As soon as
Um
I get off
Mm-hmm.
here, I gotta do my homework tonight.
Just
so
looking at it like that, that you said, even when it comes to money, when it comes to everything, like you said, it's a relationship.
Yeah.
it's a
And so building that,
relationship.
I I always tell people, when spirit is giving me information, spirit wants to know that I can trust you, with the information, that you're going to hold the secrets and you're not going to, I can just trust you to do what you say you're going to do.
Ooh,
And for me, that's my thing, is keeping that trust and that relationship open with spirit and let them know. They know me even when I'm slacking. They like, did you do it? Are you going to do what you said you're going to do?
literally.
And I'll be like,
Mhm.
I'm coming, but that relationship,
That's me.
just having that relationship with them, letting them know you could trust me. You could trust me with it. I'm going to do the work. I'm about your people. I'm about divine love. Um, and them knowing that I can continue to keep giving you. I can continue because I know she gonna get out there and she gonna do her thing. I know she gonna bring
Yep.
who she need to. I know who she's going to, even when she's scared, she gonna get out there and connect with who she's supposed to connect with. And they love me for that. And I would not, there is no way on this planet that I can sit here and say, I don't believe in my ancestors,
Yeah.
because they have taken me across the world. And so, and I'm going to keep that connection with them. They know that I'm going to do the work, and they sacrifice so much for me to be here in this moment that I would never, so I just give thanks. Again, thank you for everybody who got in on the chat. This conversation was very, like I said, needed in this time with everything that's going on. To have three black women in this room at the same time, just speaking about divine healing and stepping into our divine power, even when the world is trying to show us something else. We are still like on the highest vibration,
Period.
because ain't nothing going to bring us down to that level where it's going to have us feeling like, oh, I'm unsafe in my house. And just that understanding of being able to effectively communicate what you guys talked about earlier, as black women, learning how to speak to each other and understand and take constructive criticism, because that's what it's all about. Like you said, when we're going through that healing and we're doing that shedding, we're no longer on a defense, but saying, being teachable, because you got to be teachable on this journey. You got to be able to, receive something and give something. And I'm learning from Serena, and Serena's learning a little bit from me, and I'm learning from Janae. In order for us to keep going, we're always going to have to learn something. So being able to learn it from my sister is the safest place to get it from. Thanks and gratitude. I thank you guys for joining us. Give your information where people can reach you.
So yeah, I'll start. I'm at Self Love Nay
Mhm.
on Instagram. So, to as I was saying, like all things self love, healing, yoga, the body, the mind, the spirit, and the money. right? So hit
Mm,
me up. I'm all about, if we could ball it up in one word. You know what word I'm about to say was my word, Rena. Transformation.
That's
mhm.
So
it. That's it.
Right.
let's get to work.
That's
Get
it.
to
That's
work.
it. And my you can follow me at I'm at the underscore empath underscore healer underscore.
Hmm.
So somebody had the other one taken. But and so on there I share lots of tips and lots of divine, a lot of times on my page is like kind of filled with divine downloads, divine messages of what spirit has asked me to share. Even when I don't want to share my business, spirit is like, I
Hmm.
need you to share your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. Share it.
On there. I have different things that will soon. There's some things you can make appointments if you want to look at my, list of things that I offer. And soon, I'll be dropping my womb course. So yeah, this follow me on Instagram, and you'll be able to see kind of the updates and the things that I'll be dropping here over this next season.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, I am Sheba and I am ready. And you can catch us every Thursday at Live with Sheba here on Instagram and follow us on YouTube. You're able to subscribe to the channel. The link is inside of the comment section. And so, yeah, you can catch me there. You can catch me here. And then also, I am putting a booklet together as far as Reiki healing and moving that energy, that negative energy and blockages to be able to manifest the life that you want to live. So you can inbox me here at this channel and I will respond. I thank you ladies so much.
Thank
Thank you for this
you.
beautiful conversation. It was here, it was there, it was, but it was definitely in alignment, and I appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Thank
Have a
Thank you,
good.
you.
Sheba. Much
Good
love.
I love
Mwah.
you guys.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Hey,
Love
it's
y'all.
night.
Sheba, and I am definitely ready. Live with Sheba. Welcome to our new podcast. We'll be diving into deep discussions of overcoming trauma and finding triumph. Make sure you subscribe to the new YouTube channel to catch all the action and insightful conversation. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Live with Sheba, for virtual interactions and behind the scene content you won't want to miss.